Okay, so chapter 10, lesson 2, this is titled Perimeter. Yes, we're still talking about the perimeter that you learned in the beginning of the school year. This is just going to be a little bit more challenging. So if you read the objective, you'll figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. So some of it is going to be the same, some of it is going to be a little bit more challenging. So NASA's Cassini, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but spacecraft photographed an enormous hexagon. Now let's think about what a hexagon means. A hexagon means that there are 6 sides. So if we look over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides, with each side measuring about 12,500 kilometers. So 12,500, 12,500, 12,500, 12,500, 12,500, 12,500. What would its perimeter be? So that means that I'm going to be doing perimeter equals, well, there's 6 of them, 6 times 12,500, or I would be doing 12,500 plus 12,500 and so on, 6 times. So 6 times 12,500, if you multiply that out on your paper, you should. So go ahead and pause the video and multiply it out. You should get 75,000. So my perimeter is 75,000 kilometers. Pretty easy. Okay, so let's go on to our key concept. The perimeter of a regular polygon, remember what a polygon is. P equals ns, where n is the number of sides and s is the side length. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2l plus 2w, or P equals 2 times l plus w, where l is the length and w is the width. So, we know this, we know both of these things. So the perimeter of a regular octagon is 128 inches. What is the length of each side? Well, this time it gives you the perimeter, so it tells you. Our perimeter is, if I were to write out an equation, I would say perimeter equals, an octagon means there's 8 sides, so 8 times s, which will be the length of each side. So our perimeter, that's a P, I know that's really ugly, but the perimeter of the rectangular octagon is 128 inches. Remember, I'm writing an equation because I'm getting myself ready for algebra. Remember that. 128 equals 8 times s. So I know a lot of you read this problem, you're like, oh, all I need to do is divide by 8. Like I said, I want you to start writing equations. When you see word problems, I promise you it will help you. So 128 equals 8s. So now I need to divide by 8 on both sides, which is what some of you did just by reading that problem. 128 divided by 8, I need you to pause the video and do 128 divided by 8. So if you pause the video and you work this out and you did it correctly, you should have got 16 equals s. Well, what does s equal? S is the length of each side. If I were taking a test, I would plug this back in and see if it works. So what I mean by that is I would say 128 should equal 8 times 16. And so then I would do 8 times 16 and see if that equals 128. Which it does. So 128 equals 128. So that means it works. You can always plug it back into your formula. That's all I did to see if it worked. Alright, so this next one's a little bit more challenging, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Hi, baby. Okay, so our next one is find the perimeter of this figure. Well, if you notice, it is a polygon. If you notice this little part right here, it says, remember, identical tick marks show congruency or equal measures. So this tells you that this and this are equal because they both have one tick mark. So the way I would solve this is doing perimeter equals 7.5 and count how many of them have that same tick mark. So I have 1, 2, and that's it. 7.5 times 2, and then plus, well, now I need to look at the ones with the 2 tick marks. So I have 2 tick marks, 1 here, and then I have 1 in the middle right here. But the one in the middle right here isn't on the outside, meaning that it's not part of my perimeter, right? So that means I have to do 2 times 5 1/10, and then plus 9.3. So now I would do my multiplication first. 7.5 times 2. 7.5 times 2 gives you 15 plus 2 times 5 1/10 is 10 2/10 plus 9.3. Now I just add, make sure you line up your decimals. 15 plus 10 2/10 plus 9 3/10. You should get 34.5 kilometers. Alright, so I want you to pause this video and I want you to work this one out on your own. I'm going to simply put the answer up after you've done it. And then tomorrow I'm going to check your work and see how you did. So if you did it correctly, you should have got 192 4/10 inches. Alright, so our very, very last slide. I want you to do number 1, 2, and 3. I want you to do number 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to check this tomorrow when you walk in. You should know how to do this. I actually want you to also do number 6. Number 6 is a good question for y'all to try. So that's all I have for y'all for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you paid very close attention.